Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim. Hey, I'm coming on here to share with you guys my bundle of eco-dyed. There's some fabric in here and a little collection of papers that I put together. So I thought I would leave it. I've let it. It's not dry on the inside, but I did it this afternoon and wrapped it up and then steamed it. And I'm going to share with you in another video just how I steamed it. I did this different process because I didn't have a I had the pot that I use, but I didn't have a steamer, like something with holes in it. So I'll share with you what I use. I want to show it to you at the same time. And what we'll do is today I want to go over this, and I'm just dying to open it up. It's like a package. When you do this, it's like there's just so many different variables you can get. Like this was an old curtain that I cut up, and I just said, oh, let me tie it around there. It's got all these random colors. You know, I can use this in some of my stitching or whatever. You know, I might not use it, but it's there if I want to. So this side is so cool. The yarn, I started to unwrap it, and then I thought, oh no, I'll wait. But I used some of my wide yarn. It's like a wool and alpaca blend. And let's check it out. It leaked through. It looks so cool. So it's all different colors. I might tie this around a journal. I don't know what I'll do with it, but there it is. And then I wanted it to be really tight, so I went ahead. I'm grabbing some scissors, and I'm just going to cut this string. I don't know. I just get all geeked out over this. I love it so much. I love, eco-dyeing with flowers and plants and things I have. And then opening it up is like Christmas morning or something, like it's a new package. So yeah, it did it. It look closer. See where the string was? Isn't that cool? I love the marks there. Now there wasn't any color that I put on this side, but even the dark from the flowers, the white went through there where the string was. It wouldn't let it. And this was like a shiny fabric. I don't know, it was some white curtain that I don't even know really where I got it from. But before I open this up, let me take you back out. I want to show that close up. There's like some rusty color there. So what I did is I put the fabric, and this is a flower right here. I can tell already. But I put the fabric that I had on the outside of the little journal. I mean, I haven't bound it or anything, but I just wrapped it around. And I used, okay, let's see how we should do this so I don't make such a mess. Make sure you're in, this is all in frame. Yeah. Let's see. Whoa, look at those colors. Even on the brown paper. That's cool. See, I think that was a dahlia. So let me see how this opens up. Yeah, that's what this is on the fabric. Please excuse me. Here, that's the other side. And then this was like a pink dahlia. And it gave this color. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's like I have a dry throat. I just drank some water before starting the video. And then this was a yellow zinnia. And you see, it left a little bit of a pink color there. So that's the fabric that I had on the outside of it. And then all the little bits are what I'm using here. You might want to try this. It's the liner to a cereal box. It's a cereal liner that I clean off the inside, and then I just use it as a, a non-stick. It's non-porous, and, it won't get all over my table. I haven't used it for painting, but it is good for this eco dyeing and all this little bits that get on here. And the small bits are pieces of hibiscus tea. I used some hibiscus tea also. This had a little bit of paint. I know why I had this. Yeah, the curtain was from, I put it down as I had saved it. Like, I'll reuse anything. And so I didn't want the floor to get paint on it when I was painting edges. So I just put an old curtain down that I wasn't using. It was a piece of fabric, and it saved the floor from being painted. I didn't want to paint my hardwood floors or the carpet or whatever it was. So then that's that side. That's got a really good, really cool grungy feel to it. I wanted to use it in a grungy something. All of it. And what this blue is, I mean, it could be blue. I don't think the blueberries would get that blue, but they get more dark like this. What the blue is I had done a page and did brusho. It's brusho color, and it's like a powdered color, sort of like Lindy's Magicals, if you will, but it's called brusho, and it's powdered pigment, and I had done it on papers. You'll see it in this bundle of papers. Okay, so it got a little wonky from, rolling it up, but I had to roll it up to put it, these are blueberries. These are the blueberries. I took 3 blueberries. I had one in the water, and then these I smashed into the paper. I'm very sorry for coughing. It just catches me like I have to. Okay, so yeah, it's got a real deep, and that's not typically what I've done with blueberries before. I haven't seen that kind of color. Steaming is different. Steaming is really different. Before, I've just put the blueberries in the water, like smashed them, and then used it on fabric without any kind of real heat. I don't know if I like using the tea, the hibiscus tea, because, see, that's paper. That's not the fabric. Okay. It's really messy. So, I like the bigger flowers. Now, if I can get this apart, was that one? Yeah. So this is where I used one page of the brusho that I had put brusho on, and just kind of did a abstract. You put the pigment on the paper or whatever you're going to color, and then you just use a spray bottle and spray water onto it, and then it just kind of, oops, sorry to bump it, and then it just kind of explodes everywhere. So, oh, I left the tea bag. So I don't know what this is. This is the back side of it. Now that I see this tea bag, this is where I got my hibiscus tea, and I wanted to see what it would do. I can use this tea bag also. Oh, is it ever messy? Okay. I don't remember this piece, but that's okay. Lots of colors on that. Oh, this piece is cool. I like the subtlety of it. Oh, this is one that I just laid over. Looks real cool. So this is the brush show page. I just interspersed some color. We'll see if it affected the plant material or what. I can see the cinnamon basil. So that's what we got on that. I hope this inspires you to do some eco printing, or just, you know, use your plant matter to dye with. So that did not print very much on this. It printed on this one, and it could be the paper. This is a really, really old book. This book was from like 1880s, and I made a journal out of the cover and then took all the book pages out. Now this is very different from my other video, because my other one, when I took it apart, I had rubbed alum water. I had alum in the water, and the bundle of papers were completely submerged in the alum water. This was merely steamed. I've never eco-dyed like this before. I learned this from Francisca Nunes. She has a website, Francisca Nunes, Makers of the Heart. I'll link all of her stuff underneath. And she has an eco-dyeing course, and that she was doing just sort of a free course with other people coming into it and doing things, and it inspired me to try this steamed sort of operation, and I see a lot of it's there. It's really hard to judge because I used the Brusho on that one page, and you see it's gone into everything like that. It's pure pigment, so it made a really cool effect though. My granddaughters will love the rainbows. Rainbow colors. And these are lavender. And this is either a zinnia or... Yeah, that was a yellow zinnia. This is a big pink zinnia. But see, the pinks usually come out green. There's barely any color there. Ooh. It came through from the other side. And how I know this, well, that might have been a dahlia. The dahlias really, they print very nice. Okay, this one came through the paper, 2 sheets. Oh, those printed well. Did you see that? I'll give you a close-up of that. I like that. Oh, the pink is at the top. Pull back out. Oh, pattern paper. I wanted to try the pattern paper. It really didn't get printed from that. It just got the Brusho. It's kind of inspired me to do something different with that Brusho and maybe use it in a dye pot. This was the cinnamon basil. was a Zinnia. They do not dye or eco print very strong, but it's some kind of a mark there. And this, again, this was steamed. It was not immersed in water. Oh, that's a beautiful. Wow, what flower is that? Okay. Yeah, that was a yellow zinnia. A little bit of the leaves. I'll give you a closer. That one printed well. It's a lot of it is dependent upon the paper. This was just a piece of scrapbook paper that I had. It was very light colored. It had flowers on it, and I thought, let me just throw that in there and try it. It's all an experiment. That's the part of this that I enjoy, is not knowing what I'm going to get. I know many people do not like that. There's an old free download from Alyssa Burke. I put that in there to see what it would do. It printed on this side. Okay. Got somewhat of a print. And that was from this side. Another Zinnia. They all print yellow. I have pink, orange, and yellow in bloom, but they all print just yellow. This did print well, the leaves. My prints from last fall on my roses and the regular maple leaves. It's hard to see with that wrinkle in it, but the leaves printed well. That's why I spread it out. See if it's on this side. Yeah, this graph paper is not necessarily a good one. The scrapbook paper, if it's one-sided, is good. Mixed media paper and watercolor paper are excellent. The plants will release their... Oh, that's a nice one too. See, the heavier papers take it. I think that's the real key that I'm seeing. This was a piece that one of my granddaughters colored on, and so I put it in there. That's a nice leaf. Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, that was I don't know what color it was, but both of those came out really nice. It's about the best one out of this grouping. And there's all these purples, and it's kind of a print there. Okay, so that's the middle. Now, well, I appreciate you guys watching my channel, and I'm so, grateful to you for those new people that have subscribed, and I hope you enjoy the different videos. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will go ahead and do that, because I'll be having a lot more different videos coming out. Let's see this. There it is. If you like a multitude of different arts and crafts, just hit the subscribe button. And I usually put out at least 2 videos a week, sometimes 3. See, this has to get much more dry. And, when I first put the tea on there, it started turning pink. And it was releasing what I thought was going to be a red hibiscus color. But this is not. This is just, you know, like brown tea colored. See if I've got a brush here I can do this with. So I can see some color. Well, I think it's a little, you know, it's varied. It gives it interest when it dries, we'll be able to tell. Yeah. So that's what steaming does. That's what my steaming does. And I even sprayed the alum from a spray bottle on the plants, because it's been my experience that I've got to have something to release it. When I boil the papers or the fabric, I have the alum in the water, alum on the paper. It helps the plants release their color, and then I also put vinegar to set the color. Yeah, this turned mostly blue. This was just a fruit tea. So, okay. She recommended buying like hibiscus flowers that are dried for tea, and then she ground them up. And I thought that was really cool. So I had some fruit teas in the tea bags, and the first ingredient on it is hibiscus. So I thought, well, let me try that. And I've seen when I put this in water and I steep the tea, then the water turns pink, and it does. I've dyed fabrics and they turn, now fabrics, but this is paper. Again, you have another variable. So, you know, I don't know if it maybe it doesn't happen on the paper because of the chemical makeup, excuse me. This is that 1800s paper. Part of the book was ripped up and torn and things, so I figured I would just take it apart. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. It's kind of like a school book, or a, oh, I don't know, a higher grade school book, maybe. Okay, that was a magazine I wanted to try. Something shiny, or book page. I think we are to the end here. If you haven't seen Eco Dyeing, I hope you'll try it. This is a little of the blue. Oh, this is an actual, yeah, nothing happened. This was an experiment that I did. This was, I have a Swedish ivy, a houseplant. I have lots of houseplants, but this one I thought, let me pull off those leaves and see what it'll do. It did nothing. So I learned that lesson. There we go. And there was another one. Hey, if you know somebody that likes plants and papers and journals, now these papers will be so different when they dry. When they dry, and depending on how I dry them, if I put them in the oven to dry, they'll be more crinkly. If I just leave them out, they'll get real. They kind of get a little more texture to them, if you will. Obviously, this is going to make them textured. These tea leaves, but I got some blue. Okay, yeah, that's about the same. Blues and mottled, and yeah. But I I hadn't tried that process, but I really wanted to, and that was steaming the bundle, putting it in. I actually used a large doily, and I'm going to show you the doily. Hang on. It's on the other side of the studio. Let me grab it. I clipped the doily over my vessel with the water in it, and I used my book clips. I don't know, maybe another time I'll show you how I did it, but I don't really think I'll be steaming. I like immersing to eco dye better than just steaming. I get better. I seem, for my personally, I got better results when I boil the the items. But it was a doily, and I was going to use it in, you know, I didn't know what I was going to use it in. It just was in my stash. And so I clipped it all around the edges of my little tin, you know, it's a turkey basting thing, and I put it on the stove. Well, once I clipped it, it made like a net, and it holds the bundle. You know, it's broken right there, but it's still held. It held the bundle of fabric just perfectly. And then I put my cookie sheet on top, and it kept the steam in. It helped it boil and, you know, get hot faster. And it worked out perfectly. I just wish it would have given me better results with the steaming, because the paper does dry a little faster. Oh, I love these colors. But I also like these pastel colors too. It's kind of cool. So that's got to dry. It's still wet. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll share this video. Share it with somebody that likes that. And hey, if you try this process with the doily and you do the steaming, let me know. Tag me. Tag me on Instagram, Bluebird Legacy.